Hello, welcome back. Let's go ahead and take just a quick moment to talk about how I grade your homework each and every day. It's an inside peek into what goes on in my head when I grade your assignments. So I hope you find this super helpful. The title of this particular document in Google Classroom is our homework assignment rubric for virtual instruction, because you're capable of great things when a loving adult holds you accountable for them. That's me. So, per our procedures and expectations, you need to understand that math is a cumulative topic of study, and success is a result of consistency. I say it all the time. You are what you do every day. Therefore, strict deadlines are enforced to help ensure your success. I promise to uphold these expectations to help you keep up and to not be a jerk. So, you'll have 24 hours from the end of your scheduled class time to complete your coursework for the day. For instance, and again, very similar to our last video, let's say it's Tuesday and your virtual math class ends at 2 o'clock. Your daily math work is then due by 2 o'clock Wednesday, so you get 24 hours. This will give you time to ask questions in a Zoom or send me an email and fix your work before you submit it. Work submitted between hour 24 through the period of the subsequent test is subject to receiving partial credit. So, for instance, from above, you get half credit if you submit your work from 2:01 p.m. on Wednesday through 2 p.m. on the day of your next test. That gives you lots of wiggle room to get those late points in. Work submitted after this deadline will receive a score of 0. Again, for instance, from above, you get a 0 out of 2 if you submit your work after 2 p.m. on the day of your next test. So you can consider your end of unit test as the deadline for any late work. No late credit is given after the unit is complete. There's not really a ton of value, if you will, in doing the work after you take the test. The value in learning the content via our homework is to help you with the test. So to go back and retroactively try to fit in that understanding just doesn't do well for learning in the mathematics setting. Just a couple of other reminders. It is your responsibility, the student's responsibility, to notify me when you're submitting late work. Google Classroom does a nice job of it. However, just email me at lucass@nhsd.net if you're not sure if I received it, and I'll definitely get back to you. If you notice something amiss in Power Schools, yes, please just reach out. You do have a human math teacher, and I try my best to keep up with all of the notifications that come my way, but I would be lying if I told you I didn't miss one in the past. So yeah, just let me know. Send me an email. I'm happy to help you along. Should you fail to hit the turn in button, your work will be subject to our policy for late work. So again, it's important to remember to hit that button. Even if you hit the button, it's late. I've had some students in the past just try to run the scam of like, oh, I forgot to hit turn in, when they actually forgot to do the assignment. So I just, to maintain consistency among my students, the policy is you have to hit the turn in button in time to get your credit for your work. Okay, so here's the rubric part. A rubric is just a chart that keeps us all fair, right? You know how I grade it, I know how I grade it. It keeps us all on the same page. And I hope you get to the point in our course where you could actually score the work yourself using this very valuable tool. This rubric will be listed at the bottom of each and every weekly agenda, so you don't have to go digging for it every week. It'll be listed right there for you. That way you know how our assignments are graded. You get a friendly reminder of how homework is graded each and every week at the bottom of our weekly agendas. So, how do you get a perfect score, a 2 out of 2 on your homework? So to earn a sample score of a 2 out of 2, you should do your own work for the entire assignment, not copied off of a peer or the internet. You have to actually copy down every assigned problem, so the original equation. However, if you're working through a word problem or something like that, or if you're just doing work on a worksheet, you don't need to worry about that step. If you are a student who does work on notebook paper, however, you do have to actually copy each and every assigned problem. Please remember to show all of your work I often give answer keys. So just jotting the final answer down from my answer key doesn't demonstrate an understanding of the content as it was taught, and therefore you would receive partial credit. Make sure you do every single problem. Please don't skip any. And if you find yourself in a position where you can't complete every problem, please just reach out and I'll make sure you get the help you need. Please remember to check your work with the provided answer key in an alternate color. So you just put a little check mark or C next to what you get right, and then any X's next to what you get wrong. When you get something wrong, you're responsible for fixing your mistakes as well. Please submit the assignment on time. Submit the assignment as one file, so please do not submit multiple pictures of your assignment, just one file, please. And then submit the file with one image per page. So again, this criteria here, this little checklist of items is what you should consider submitting if you would like a perfect score. So let's talk about half credit. What does half credit look like for an assignment? So if you're going to receive a score out of 1 out of 2, one of these things happened. Either you missed any one of the components listed above, so you skipped something here, or you submitted after the posted due date, but prior to the subsequent test or end of the quarter, or you forgot to click the turn in button. And then last but not least, if you have a 0 out of 2 in Power Schools, what happened? It means you just did not submit the assignment, or you submitted the assignment after the subsequent exam due date, or if I found out that you plagiarized any part off of a peer, photomath, the internet, a parent, any of that. So work that is not authentically yours would be scored, any portion of an assignment that is not authentically yours would be scored at a 0 out of 2. So that is our homework assignment rubric. I thought it would be helpful to include just a couple of sample items, what a complete homework assignment looks like. So allow me to go ahead and do this with you super quick. Now, pop my face in there so you know I'm here for you. Ooh, that's not gonna work. There we go. All right, so my friends, what does a complete homework assignment actually look like? Give me 1 second here, so sorry. My stylus isn't really working that well. There we go. Okay, so I have some really nice samples of student work here. This is stuff done by my students, and what you're seeing here is a student completed an assignment on a worksheet. They have multiple steps worth of work, and then they circled their correct final answers. And do you see these beautiful C's here? They actually went through with the answer key and checked each and every problem to make sure that they got it right. That is an expectation. If you get one wrong, quite simply, you could go ahead and grab your little stylus and put an X through it, and then you would go ahead and fix that problem to show that you understood what you didn't understand before. If you can't fix your work, please, again, just email me, send me a little signal, and I'll go ahead and I'll help you out. So that is a complete homework assignment. It is worth 2 out of 2. Just kind of zooming along here. Let's say you're a student who decides to complete your work on notebook paper. Completely appropriate. This student, looks like they had about 5 problems for homework. Notice they copied the original equation. They showed all of their work. They have their 2 correct final answers, and we know that they're correct because they checked them with the answer key. They marked that answer correct with a C. And so these problems were done and done correctly. Notice also that I see just one image on the page, and then if this person had multiple images, they would just go ahead and condense that using Adobe or Notability, just a file, like you can even do it in your Apple or your iPad Notes app, but you merge those pictures together as one file, 1 picture per page, and then I'd go ahead and I'd grade that for you. But please only plan on uploading 1 image or 1 file per assignment. But again, if you are going to be a student who does work on notebook paper, please do plan on copying the original equation to get full credit for that assignment. All right, so what would a 1 out of 2 look like? Completely legitimate question. So let's kind of scurry down here, take a look at that. So sample 1 out of 2 assignments might look like this, and I know you're probably looking at it like, it looks done, but let me just explain a little bit why this more or less misses the mark on what we would want to be a complete homework assignment. So what you're going to go ahead and see, first of all, I have some arrows and some text boxes here. You don't see any corrections done. There's no C's or X's. The student did not give themselves the feedback on the assignment that their brain needs in order to learn new material. If you don't give yourself feedback, your brain doesn't learn. So it's super important to give your brain that feedback to let your brain know if you did the problem right or not right. That's why we do the C's and the X's. I'm not trying to make more work for anyone. But if you don't know if you got a problem right or wrong, you don't know if you understood the assignment. So please make sure that you are correcting each and every problem, or else you do get partial credit. I'll always give you an answer key to mark your assignment as correct or incorrect, so every problem does need a mark. In addition, what you may notice as you sort of look down the page here is that this student failed to complete each problem. So what we see here is that they didn't actually finish the problem to get their answers for N. They just kind of stopped short here. Even if this just happens one time, the assignment is scored at partial credit. You need to work each and every problem all the way through to the end, marking C's next to what you get right and X's next to what you get wrong in order to get a complete score. Remember, half credit is also awarded for any homework coming in after its posted due date, but prior to the subsequent test. Some points will always be better than no points. So just give me something, kids, and we're going to get along swimmingly well. Just don't make it a habit to turn in too many assignments incomplete or too many missing assignments, and this course is going to go tremendously well for you. I'm really looking forward to our time together.